Good morning. Video number 2, get me? Okay, I just thought I'd show you. I'm doing the Ambrook challenge. I've spoken to you about this before. I have fallen woefully behind. I did not know that she'd already done another page after this one. I was merrily taking my time. So I sat and stitched a load of this last night. Yeah, the theme was circles and circles, so oh yeah, she's already done another page, which is really full on. It's part 1 and part 2, so I'm gonna leave this one here for now. I've just got one last circle to stitch on. I've done I like this. I really enjoyed doing the sort of travelling line around, which just connects all the circles together. I did do the big what would you call it, like a shadow circle, and did a load of seed stitch around hers. I kind of knew I wouldn't have the patience to do all of that, so this is why I'm kind of leaving this as a I'll do some more later type page. We cut out a hole on the previous one, so we had to obviously do a hole in this one, and we had to bring the fabric that we used there forward onto this, so that's kind of why it's all pinned like that. I need to work on this a bit more because it isn't quite lining up with the one behind, but that's okay. I can do some stitch to cover that. I might even, let me just open it up, I might even back the hole here with some gauze or something, you know, just to kind of, I don't know. Yeah, I need to fiddle around with it, but I don't like this feeling that I'm falling behind, because we've got this page and then the next one that she's done a video on, and then I think there's only one more page after that and we'll be on our covers, and I just hate falling behind on things like that. So this is where I've got to on this one. Did some all sorts of different stitches and that. I need to rewatch her video just to see if there's any other twiddly bits that we need to do, but I'm kind of thinking that's almost there. Yeah, I might do another one of these shadow circles here or something. I don't know. I'm just going to play around with that, but I'm going to get on and get the next page ready, because as I say, it's a really involved one, that one. So let me just put my sewing needle back in there, so I should be looking everywhere for that tonight. So that's where I am on that. I mean, it's looking, I still haven't joined my pages together. Let me just move that up there. Yeah, it's looking great. So much work gone into this. This still my favourite page. I don't know why. I guess it's the colours. I don't know. And that one as well. So yeah, it's coming on. I say we're getting very close to the end, and it is chunky, and the next one, the page after this, has got pockets and all sorts. If you're following it, you know exactly what I'm on about. So it's going to get even chunkier, so it's going to be quite a piece of work when it's done. So I'm going to pop that to a side for now. Yeah, this is the next page. Whew, lots to do, because we make a little booklet. So yeah, I need to leave that there. So it's kind of given me spur though to get on with the little one that I'm planning to do with everybody. If you want to follow it, you don't have to. I mean, it's completely up to you. I'm sort of looking at my page and it's all just a bit blah. It's a bit beige and a bit cream. You know, I haven't used a colourful background. So I kind of had this idea of, I haven't stitched anything on yet, so I'm just going to take these all off. And I thought about adding some colour at the back. I follow an American lady, Caterina Giglio, I think it's her name, and she does an awful lot of mixed media stuff. She too is joining the slow stitch bandwagon, so that's interesting. I'm just going to put a bit of paper behind here. And she combines paint and stitch with a lot of her work. And I thought what would be quite nice, because this page, the first page we're doing, is concentrating on rectangles, oblongs. I still haven't found out if there's a difference. I thought about doing some painted background. Now, as I've said before, I'm trying to focus this on people that don't have a lot of stash. I can't find my granddaughter's. I bought one of those real cheap palettes of watercolor paint for her. I can't find it. I've got a horrible feeling in my clear out I threw it away, because I'd bought her this set of, it was so cheap, these little watercolor paints, because she seems to get on better with a liquid paint than a palette as such. So I thought, well, you know, you might have, if you've got children, you might have a kiddies palette. If not, they're so cheap to buy. They're about £2, I think. If you're in the UK, from the Works, they do one. I think I got this from the Works, and I think it was only a couple of pound. I really can't remember. But I kind of had this thought of putting rectangles. I've cut these out of cards. Sorry, let me just show you these. I've cut them out of some random bits of card. And I thought about doing just sponging around rectangles and kind of giving a shadowy effect as a background. I don't know. I haven't tried this. You are watching this live. So, you know, it could be a complete disaster, in which case you won't watch this video, but we'll see. So I'm just going to sit down. Oh, I didn't get any water. Sorry, bear with me. Let me just, where's my water pot gone? Oh, fiddly dee. Right, let me just grab some water. 2 seconds and I'll be back with you. Right, sorry about that. Got some water now. So what I thought was, I've made a palette out of a piece of plastic packaging. It was on those dies that I showed you in my haul. So I'm going to use that as like a palette. And I'm just going to muck around with some colours. And I got one of these spongy things. Again, dead cheap. I've got a bigger one over there if I need it. But I thought this, and then maybe sponge around. It's going to bleed, I think. I don't know. Try not to get it too watery, I guess, is the key. So let's give it a go. As I say, this might not be aired, this video. So I'm just looking at my colours here. I've got a nice green, so I just need to, let me just tip these out. So I've got a green, and I've got some blue, and sort of a pinky red. So let's go with those 3 colours and let's see what we can do. I say, I've got a funny feeling this is going to bleed everywhere, so it might do me might be a disaster. In which case you won't watch this video. We'll see. Let me just make sure you're all in screen. Yeah, okay. So let's have a look. Just going to slightly dampen the sponge, just dipping it in water at the back here. I'll say I'm not going to go too wet because I think that'll make it bleed even more. So just working a bit of this. I say these are so cheap, these watercolours, but I thought it might be something you might have. So literally, I don't know, just putting some marks down, nothing special. I don't know. So I'm a bit nervous about this, don't know if it's going to work or not. It might be terrible. So just using the end of the spongy bit, they come in like a triangular, let's see if you can see that. Yeah, they're kind of triangular on the end. I won't go too close because it'll lose focus. So yeah, just kind of making some marks, not too wet, a little bit of paint. You can see the paint here. I just want to get some marks on there. So let's pop that down, let's lift that up. I chopped all my nails back last night, so oh yeah, okay, that's cool. Kind of liking that. Right, I'll balance it out with a bit more red over this side before I wash out my brush or my sponge. Now I've realised I've gone very vertical, so let's get some horizontal ones in here as well. So I'll just do the same with this one. Doesn't need to be a lot, you don't need a lot of colour. Like I say, if you've got a kiddie's watercolour palette, perfect. It doesn't need a lot at all. Just dampen your sponge. You just want the paint to be a little bit, have a little bit of movement in it. And I just thought that that would add, you know, you're getting more and more rectangles on there, so that's cool. Right, so balanced out the red that side. Just washing out the brush. I don't care if the colours mix, I'm really not that bothered. Right, so that's red. I'll just put those for a minute. Let's get some of the blue on there. Tiny bits, don't need a lot. Really, really don't. So, again, just dabbing the end here. Just working it in. There's quite a lot of water on that one. Let me just squidge out some of that. Okay, let's see what we've got here. So again, let's go that way. I'm not going to press too hard because this is quite wet, so I don't want it bleeding. I want the defined rectangular shape, and that's what I'm after. So you could stick this down with a bit of double-sided tape if you're worried it's going to keep moving on you. Right, this one's really wet, so I'm going to remove that straight away. Okay, not too bad. Okay, so let's put this big one here. I've got a bit of paper underneath to absorb any over. You see how much wetter this one is, but let's see if we can jiggle this one. I say when I watched her doing her latest one, I say she's doing a slow stitch one as well, but she works in very monotones, colours, and which is lovely. Don't get me wrong, I love it, but I do like a bit of colour in my life. So there we are. Yeah, okay. I think I'm liking this. I'll wait until I've actually got the fabrics on there. It's drying almost instantly. It's a really hot day here today, so I should be able to put my fabric straight back on in a bit. So let me just wash out and squeeze out my spongy thing again. Definitely don't want it as wet as I did last time. So now the greens. I say it's just taking the plainness off the background. It was all just a bit, yeah, not my kind of thing. So let's just do this one. I think what we'll do is I'll swap that one out and do a big green one down here. I'm liking the mark that you get on the end of the brush there, so they look like fireworks, don't they? Liking the bits of card like that. Okay, that's cool. Right, let's do let's do a vertical green one there, small one. Like I say, I don't care if the paints mingle, that's fine. Yeah, so when I caught up with Anne Brooks' challenge like YouTube last night, this whole new page was on there. I was like, panic! I didn't even know we'd gone to another one. So I really need to get my knuckle down. See, have a week off, and it's like, yeah, you fall behind. Right, I'm quite liking that. What I might do is just sort of brush the edges slightly as well, just to again take that plainness off with all the different colours. I've deliberately left the seam on here. I quite like the texture that gives, so what I might do is just sort of very lightly with the brush just sort of go over that. I say if you're using pattern fabric, you do not need to do this at all. It's just that I chose this creamy, well, it's part of an old pillowcase, so yeah, it all just looked a little bit, like I said, a bit blah. So just use up the rest of these paints on here. Yeah, I think I'm a bit happy with that. Let's have a look at it with the fabric on. I'll say it's more or less dry anyway, because it was very it's hardly even gone through. Okay, let's make sure we see the screen. Yes, we are. Jolly good. I like these. Isn't it weird when you do something you sort of end up liking the bits and bobs you used? Right, okay, so let's reconfigure. So that one there. I might completely change what I had laid out. Yeah, they're a bit samey. I don't like that. So maybe pop you up there. Can't even see me bit of calico. Let's move you out. move you there, and then thinking the little birdie there next to the green. Let's have a look through the screen. Yeah, I don't know if you agree with me, that just takes off, yeah, just gives it a little bit of background. Yeah, I think I like that. Yeah, okay, I'm going to go with that. So tonight's little project, finish off, well, I might not finish off that Ambrook one. I might do the, we're just doing straight stitch on this one, okay? So really simple, in out, straight stitch all around. And this, you know, this will be our first page. I'm just going to sort of shuffle those around so that we kind of get that fireworky effect up there. That's a very technical term, fireworky. Still can't see that rose. What if I just add a bit of card under there as well? It kind of gets lost. Right, what I might do is actually paint the rest of this card. Because you can stitch card, I mean, it's not a problem. I'd probably pierce it. This is a really thick one, you know, Murphy's Law. I've happened to use a really thick one. But I think if I lay that on there, that really shows up that rose. I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to add a bit of card in there, but I'm going to let that dry before I put that on there. And that'll really show that rose up because it's really pretty, that. So I don't know if you're actually getting that. Let me lift it up for you. See, it's got like a rose. Is that dried? More or less. But if I put that underneath there and add that as another rectangle, see the way that changes that completely. Right, that's staying. So I'll make holes in that card, stitch that on, and just straight stitch around this lot. And I might even do something here. I wonder if I've got oh yeah, that's going to be an addition too. And I might just literally very simply stitch that across like that. And well, no, with this, the bigger one, I'll do stab stitches around the edge just to hold the paper on. So yeah, go for it. You know, go for a bit mixed media if you want to. Yeah, I'm liking that. Cool. Right, lovely. So that's that. What are we at? 17 minutes. Yep, okay, I'll make that do for this one. So this is our first page. As I say, add decoration if you want to. You don't have to. It's completely up to you. If you've got a very decorative background, you might not want to. Yeah, straight stitch. That's our first page. Again, we're using 2 baby wipes as wadding. You can add more if you want a really quilted look. I think like with Anne's book, what we'll do is we'll just do all our double pages like so, and then stitch them back to back like, you know, we're doing with this one. So yeah, fun. And I really, as I say, watching Caterina yesterday, I thought actually that is what was missing. I wanted it to be a little bit more mixed media-y, but stuff that you can easily get. So that's kind of where we are. Lovely. I'm really liking that now. Cool. I'm going to stop it there and hopefully get another video up where I show you finishing off my little art books. All right. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.